Now, the reason why I'm pointing that out, because now what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk away. I'm going to walk away from that sample. And what I'm going to do is simply go on down to my piano. Now, what I'm going to do in this piece is pretty important, because with the piano, with the Rhodes, with the keys and all that stuff, I'm going to show you what I start out with. So I'm going to solo the Rhodes right here. And I'm going to show you what I'm starting out with this beat. Okay, and right off the bat, you're probably saying, okay, that makes no sense. That's not what you were listening to. Those aren't the keys. That wasn't a note. That wasn't a chord or anything that you were listening to. So what are you doing? What I'm doing is I'm playing around with the notes that are inside that sample. And what I've done is I've listened to the notes that were there, and all I'm really doing is, in a sense, it's like harmonizing. You know, if you got one person singing one note and you can harmonize with it, you just add notes that go well with those notes that you're hearing. All I'm doing is I'm kind of harmonizing here. And I'm just pulling notes and I'm adding to what was there. Why is this? It's going to be important at the end. You're going to see at the end why is this important. Now, there's another piece here. This section right here, I'm going to play it for me, solo it for you as well. Okay, so now you start to hear what sounds a little bit like what's inside of the sample, okay? And what I mean by a little bit what's inside the sample, because I'm not trying to match it, okay? Understand what I'm saying? I'm not trying to match it 100%. I'm not trying to go through and get all of the chords. I know what the chords are. I mean, I can go look it up on YouTube just like everybody else and find out what the actual chords are that are being played, you know, all that stuff. I can find the fingering. You can do that online. But what I'm doing is by ear. I'm listening to it, listening by ear, playing it by ear, and picking out the pieces. I wanted to sound similar. I wanted to move with it, but that's why I added other pieces. I don't want it to sound exactly like that. Okay, I don't want it to sound exactly like the sample. But you're like, why? You know, aren't you're sampling? Well, I'm sampling in order to get the inspiration or the interpolation or whatever you want to call it. It's not even a derivative, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to move away from the original sample. I'm going to try to move away from it as much as possible, but keep much of what you're familiar with in that sample. Okay, so let's keep listening. Now, when you listen to that piece come in, now I'm going to go over into the Rhodes a little bit more, and then I'm staying in the Rhodes. I'm going to take you over to this section here where I've added. You can see I added something on the top. This is that piece that you were just listening to that was just added. And then I'm going to add another section so you can hear it. Take a listen to it here. Okay, so you hear where I'm going with it. So now that's pretty much the idea of, you know, that sample. And the reason why I'm doing it is I'm gonna move away from it, like I keep telling you. Now, let's go into another portion of what we're going to do here. I'm going to take you to the piano. We're going to solo the piano with it, so you can hear what the piano is doing with all of this. So take a listen. Okay, so now you have an idea. This is why I said listening is the most important part of sampling, because now without having to use the sample, I have that phrasing, if you will, that's familiar. Okay, so we got that. Now, again, why is that important? Because now I can build on this in my style. I can build on this in my way. And as you know, by watching, you know, all of my videos here, I make moody instrumental music. Doesn't necessarily have to be rap music or anything like that. It's just moody instrumental music, whatever I feel. So this is just basically becoming the foundation of what I'm going to build here. So just follow along. So we've gotten to the part right there where you've heard this. Let's give you a bass line. so you can feel what my bass line is doing, okay?